Second Cup, brought to you by the Nickel Plate. Sit, sip, savor, and shop.
Hello, good morning. It's 8 o'clock on the start of your finally Friday. We have made it to the end of the week. Do you feel like it's been almost a month for this week?
Oh, I just put a little candy in my mouth like way long ago and it's still not gone. So give me like a minute and I'm going to be able to finish it.
Okay.
Please excuse me.
Lauren, good morning. Melly, good morning to you. Megan is here from Olean. Good morning, Debbie and Barbara. We're so glad that you're all with us. I am so excited for this weekend because it is going to be absolutely gorgeous.
There's like a million things going on this weekend.
Oh my gosh. Italian Fest, the Irish Fest. What else is? Oh my God, the Olympics, Garden Walk. The Olympics start tonight.
Garden Walk.
I
like Garden Walk, and we both like it for the same reason, which we're sorry.
You know that Taylor Swift song, I Look in People's Houses? That's exactly what I think of.
I just like to see what everybody's doing with their yard.
Me too. I honestly also want to see what happens inside your house. So
close your blinds if you see Ed coming through.
Oh my God, how about this? Celine Dion and Lady Gaga performing a duet tonight at the Olympics. This is going to be Celine's first performance.
Big day, people.
What, 5 years? That's a huge deal.
How about the issues they're having with the trains this morning there too?
Let's talk about that. So somebody purposely sabotaged public transit in France, creating damage to the train tracks and all of, the other like public, I don't know, entities, I guess that would.
Yeah, like different things on the rails. Like there were fires or things like this. So it was like stopping some people from being able to get where they needed to be. Jason
also says, don't forget the Cheektowaga Polish Fest that's happening this weekend.
I've been to the Polish Festival before.
So fun.
Also, like, I guess it's supposed to be pretty rainy and they're like watching the weather in Paris because they're supposed to be doing, that great opening ceremony that we love to watch.
With the boats.
Bummer to see everybody like in the rain.
I know. Well, maybe they should have done it in a stadium then.
Mild temperatures around 68 degrees, but plenty of clouds and a high probability of rain.
We took you live to France this morning, showing you the Eiffel Tower. I've actually never been to Paris, and it is gray and gloomy there this morning, and not really very pretty. Hey, we should also remind you that Second Cup is now sponsored by the Nickel Plate, and we are so grateful for their sponsorship. And don't forget, you can get one of these really great Cuppies Love mugs there on Clinton and Bailey, which, by the way, is where this accident is this morning that Aaron said is creating a huge backup on the 190.
Oh, yeah.
But if you stop by there, ask for one of these Cuppies Love mugs. You'll get them for free. Let them know you're a Cuppy. Great way to support a local business. Right on Clinton. I think it's 1500 Clinton. No, I think that's Rosina's address, 1500 Clinton.
Oh, I thought that was the
Is
Nickel, but I thought you had it. Wasn't that
it? Yes, I think it is 1500 Clinton. Yeah. Okay.
Barbara says, don't worry. Paris is beautiful, rain or shine. Sarah, oh my God, I went to the Nickel Plate yesterday.
Send us a picture.
I had a great lunch. The staff was wonderful and taught me about the history of the building. I love it there.
Cool. Isn't that building awesome? Have you ever been there?
I have been there. I haven't been there since it was a Nickel Plate. It's been a long time because I used to work over in that area.
Yeah.
So I used to go by there.
This building is awesome. It's like an old terminal building where they would have all of their like goods and services dropped off.
Believe me, I have every intention of going and doing a little retail therapy at some point.
It's very cool. Melly's suggesting there's a few accidents this morning. Let's take a look at Night Tech really quick, just so that we can all be in the know here and figure it all out, because it really does not appear as if there are many being reported by Night Tech this morning. But we do know that the 190, I think it's exit 2 to get onto Clinton, is backed up, is what Aaron was saying just a little while ago.
Yeah, they had to like close part of it because of that accident. That's just, it's always one of those.
Okay, what do we think? Should we talk about, I kind of want to know your thoughts about the election. Should we start there?
Oh boy. You want to open up a can of worms? It's 8:04.
I love talking about this stuff with you guys. Okay, so Kamala Harris getting a big endorsement overnight from Barack Obama and Michelle Obama, and I am interested in getting your thoughts. Will this be good for her? Does she have a chance?
Okay, because let's be real, there was like this like conspiracy theory concept, right? That people had talked about Michelle Obama maybe being the secret nominee,
Right.
and like then they didn't immediately endorse her, so like I don't know if that just fed into the rumors or whatever. But now they have.
I don't know if that was a conspiracy theory. I think it was a legitimate thought for some people.
It was a legitimate thought. I don't know though that like you know what? I'm not in the circle, I guess. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like,
oh, you're not in the inner circle? You're
it
not in the inner
was,
workings?
like legitimately reported, right? Different places, but I don't know how serious it was,
Sure.
I guess is what I would say.
Della says, yes, she has a chance. Connie says, nope, not talking election. Lauren says, I am not with her. Sarah says, love the Obamas, one class family. Melly's not interested in talking about the election. Peter wants to talk about the Olympics. Julie says if she's going to run the country, anything like Biden, we're doomed. Anita says Kamala Harris needs Shapiro. Josh Shapiro, she's talking about from Pennsylvania. Of course, we know so many of our viewers come from
Right.
Pennsylvania.
Okay, also, no matter how you feel about him or how you feel about his party, let's say, you got to give props to his social media team. I don't know if you've ever looked through his Instagram.
Josh Shapiro?
Oh my God.
No, I've never seen it.
So clever.
Hmm.
It is clever. He just does, he knows, like, yeah, he's got campaign stuff like that, but like, I'm just talking from,
He's doing these trends.
There I go. Yeah, he's clever just like me. No, but his Instagram just is, of course there's political things on it. You'd expect that. But I feel like his team is kind of like on the trends.
Do you know he's 51? I didn't even know that. I didn't know how old he was, to be honest with you. Biden said it's time for a new younger generation. So, hey, maybe this might be it.
Peter says, listen, may the best candidate win. That's what I have to say about politics. Is this true? Breakdancing's part of the Olympics this year?
I don't know.
I didn't know that. Truthfully, I haven't done a lot of Olympics research. Now's the time where I'll get really into it.
I love the Olympics.
And then I'll be watching it and hear all these facts, and then I'll share them with you guys the next day as if you didn't hear them at the same time I did.
Okay. Also, yes, you're right. Diane, we should talk about this. Very sad for the young boy who died in Kenmore, Tonawanda after being hit in the truck.
It's so sad.
So this is at the corner of Woodstock and Yorkshire, and there's a GoFundMe set up for his family, Luke Gwelly. And we are thinking of his family, of course.
Yeah.
And
you know what? We heard overnight, they had a vigil, right?
Yeah.
And we heard from, when you hear from like kids, they're like 15, 14, 16, and they're talking about losing a friend, like it just breaks your heart.
Well, the
It's so
emotion
sad.
from these kids. I mean, and I don't know how emotional children are nowadays.
You know what? They didn't even have to say much. You could just see it in their face. They were just,
Yeah.
I mean, kids aren't used to, no one should get used to loss like that, right? But especially kids, because like the one soundbite said, guy was like, it was the one pastor was talking, he was just like, kids, you have that invincibility concept. And you don't think this stuff's going to happen to you. You don't think it's going to happen to your friends. And you see something like this happen. And a lot of the times it's the first time.
Well, right, exactly. And so how about leaving school, you're saying, okay, see you in September,
Right.
and then coming back knowing that
Or
one of
see
your
you next-
classmates are gone.
See you, in 2 days from now,
Yeah. Melly says, those kids, speaking of him, broke my heart. Such a kind child gone far too soon. And
Yeah.
so I know some of his relatives, extended relatives. And the one thing that they mentioned was that he comes from such a large, loving family. And it seems as if that family kind of extends and it kind of permeates itself through the community.
Right.
That feeling of love for this one young
Sad.
man. So just so sad. And our thoughts are certainly with his family. Cindy says it's a situation that he should have been trained more on the bike. Children use training wheels. Well, so he was riding, from what we understand, an e-bike, right? So it was, those can
Yeah,
go
like
up to like 30 miles an hour.
A motorized bike.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Danielle, does anyone know if he was wearing a helmet? No judgment, just curious. Talk in the morning meeting yesterday was that he was.
Yeah, that's what they were saying. You know what? I don't know. That's what somebody said. I don't know.
The one shot, I think, at the beginning of this video here is, I mean, this shot is gut-wrenching, but
Yeah.
I mean, like, look at this kid.
I know he's so young to be dealing with stuff like this.
And this is a shot I'm talking about here. What I think is most powerful here is that this child, this 15-year-old, brought together people from perhaps all different walks of life, and there is an element of diversity here
Well, you know what though? That is Kenmore.
Right.
Honestly, it's a one suburb off of the city.
Well, I guess my point is that he was seemingly friends with everyone.
He was on the football team. And it's just sad. It's so sad when you see this. Like,
Yeah.
I hate to see it.
God.
Melly was saying those e-bikes, like those motorized bikes, can be really dangerous. You were saying they can go so fast. I mean, again, we don't know, and it sounds like the driver's cooperating here. It doesn't sound like charges are going to be filed right now. Is kind of what the concept we were getting. It sounds like this driver's cooperating, so this may have just been, you know what I mean? We hate that these things happen.
Well, and how about this? The community in that neighborhood wanted a 4-way stop. Right now, it's only a 2-way stop, and it was denied.
Oh, yeah, that's something else to think about.
In both directions, I guess, if you're not stopping at all 4 corners,
Yeah.
and maybe you don't see the truck coming or whatever, you can obviously get hurt.
Sometimes when you're driving through places that you maybe don't drive all the time, that have a lot of like 2-way stops, 4-way stops. And I'm not saying I'm not familiar with this stop in this area in Kenmore, but like I'll give an example. I was driving through the west side the other day and I was going down some streets because I was like cutting over from the highway, and I don't always go down these streets. So like at one point I stopped and then I went and I'm like, was that a 4-way stop?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because if you're not familiar with it.
Well, okay. So, I mean, I can speak from experience here. So I got into a really bad crash about 1.5 years ago. I think I've told you all this, but you're driving, you're stopping at a stop sign. The oncoming traffic going this way doesn't stop, but if you're going straight, you have to.
So it's a 2-way, right?
Right. And you've got to be super careful because that's just, people are flying by.
Yeah.
Obviously I wasn't, but that's besides the point.
Well, so now they're calling you again for this intersection to maybe change.
So that's Della, what she's saying. Maybe it won't be denied now. It's sad for everyone involved here. And, if you can, this family, I'm sure, would appreciate your support and donation. We've got a link for you on WKBW.com. John, maybe you can drop a link into the comments here for the GoFundMe or for our story that links you to the GoFundMe.
Yeah, it is sad.
How about this one? Do we want to talk about guns now, or do we want to talk about something else?
Well, let's just talk about that toy gun exchange because it does exist. So today they're doing a toy gun exchange. So if you've got little kids, they have toy guns. This is specifically on the east side of Buffalo. But what they're doing is saying, hey, bring in your toy guns. We're going to give you another kind of toy. We're going to give you, I loved the fishing pole concept because I just feel like that's something that when you get it, you could do that your whole life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You could be 90 years old with a fishing pole, right? So maybe it starts like something that, really interests you.
So Zeke wondering where this is. This is at the, across the street from Tops.
Right across from Tops, yeah.
On Jefferson Avenue. There's a big lot where a lot of things just kind of pop up and are set up. So it's an empty lot right across the street from Tops on Jefferson Avenue.
Yeah. So here's the one thing that so Pastor Giles, you see, he's, I don't know if you see his name in this, but anyways, he's helping organize it here. And so I was talking to him yesterday. And so he told me they've been doing this for years. I was like, well, why'd you start doing this? And he told me, he's like driving down the street one day and he said, actually he thought it was in the Tops parking lot. He's like, I'm trying to remember because I think that's where the kids are playing. He's like, and I saw these kids and he's like, they're shooting water guns at each other. He's like, and it's not like the water gun shooting that we used to do where you're like, pew, pew, pew. He's like, they were like, the gun was turned sideways like you'd see in a video game.
Oh, geez.
Do you know what I mean? And there's these 2 little kids and he's like, these 2 are like, they're little and they're echoing what they see.
Right.
And like, this is like what, hopefully maybe what they're seeing in video games, maybe what they've seen in, you know what I mean? Like, and he's like, all right, we got to change this. Like, this is not okay.
Kelsey says, at the very least, please, please, please only buy the toy guns that are obviously toys, bright colored, nothing that be confused for a real gun. Howard saying toy gun removal is not going to make a difference. We had guns growing up with real and toy. We were taught safety and respect of a toy gun, a gun of any type, unless and until people start teaching, respecting, and bringing our youth up in a proper fashion, these troubles are going to continue.
So I actually asked him that too, because I was like, listen, there's people that are going to say like, kids have played with toy guns for literally decades, maybe centuries, right? Cowboys and robbers and, whatever. But I was like, so there's people that are going to say this isn't going to change it, but what would you say? And he's like, well, those people, he's like, if you grew up somewhere where your parents were always coming home, you didn't have to worry about where your next meal was coming from, X, Y, and Z, yeah, you'd probably be okay playing with a toy gun. He's like, but that's not the reality that these kids are growing up in. And that's why we're doing it on the east side, because they're seeing guns as like a way to solve problems.
Mhm.
And so, Howard, partly to your point, like, yes, that needs to change. The concept of like how you solve a problem needs to change. But, you know, it depends on what you're growing up with.
Well, and we know, according to the U.S. Surgeon General's report, that kids who see or are part of gun violence are more likely to then act upon that
Yeah.
as they get older. Barbara says it's a good place to start. Changing the mindset has to begin somewhere. Somebody brought up Italian Fest this weekend. So here we go. It is a huge weekend for
There's like a
you, of all
million-
people.
Yes, because I'm very Italian. If you, haven't
Caterina.
if you think Italian, you
That's more
think
like
about
Ukrainian.
a little blonde girl.
Yeah. Oh my god. Jiggity jig.
Do you like how I just call myself little? Just leave it alone. Anyways, yes, I'm seeing Italian Festival. I'm not there for the whole time, like, because a lot of people are like, where are you there? So I'm going to be there tonight, tomorrow night, and then I'll be there on Sunday for a little bit during the afternoon.
Connie wondering, when does the Erie County Fair start? It starts August 7th. We are 2 weeks away from the Erie County Fair. And hey, if you want to get your tickets, you can buy them now because time is running out to get a discount on those tickets.
Yeah.
You can get them, I think, for like $15, $20. Otherwise, they go up within the next couple of weeks.
And they go up to like $22.
Right.
Now there are different days, right? Okay, so you can get different deals. Like I think there's like a first responder or firefighter day or something like that. So if you know that person can get in free, you can bring in canned goods the one day and you can get in free that way. So they do offer deals for sure, but the ticket prices, you're right, they go up. So if you're trying to save some money, get them ahead of time.
Eden Corn Festival starting next week, Kelsey says. And of course, there's still a lot of corn, despite the fact that tornadoes blew through a couple of weeks ago. So everyone looking forward to that. I honestly want more information about the Irish Festival. I want to know,
Well,
like,
if my mom's friend Teresa's here, if she's watching, because she does sometimes, she was the one who reached out to me about it. And I said, we got to do the Irish Festival too, if we're, you know, previewing the Italian Festival.
there is a hurling contest. That's what happens when you drink too many Guinnesses.
I'm just kidding.
What kind of hurling?
It's got to be throwing something, right?
Hurling what?
I don't know. Teresa, help. Lifeline, if you're here.
Discus. I don't know, but like, do you just go and drink a lot of Guinness? That sounds fun. I mean, I love
I'm
Guinness.
sure they'll have Irish dancing, which I love. I'm
Yeah.
sure they'll have like Irish music,
bagpipes.
which I love.
Love that too.
Yeah, it's fun.
Anything in particular that you're looking forward to at the Italian Festival? I know Chef Marco's going to be there. We love Marco.
Oh yeah, and you know what? He does all those demonstrations to like show you how to do different stuff. Thank God nobody asked me to cook this year. Boy, they've asked me to do that in the past and they learned, I guess. But yeah, he's going to do cooking demonstrations. And I think that people like that. There's like the grape stomping that you can like stomp the grapes. There's going to be the cheese. Thank you, Teresa. See, I knew it. She come to our rescue. Hurling is similar to lacrosse. And you can learn how to do it too, they said.
How cool is that?
Yeah. Now,
The one thing that I look forward to the most about the Italian Festival is Chef Marco's secret liquor stash in his trailer.
he's,
Not so secret anymore.
he's not doing that this year, I don't think.
No?
I don't think so.
What?
I don't know.
Barb says steak or chicken in the grass. Love them. How about the tripe at the Italian Festival?
You know what
Love
people
tripe.
really like is the guy who does the clams. Like he's down at
Ooh.
the very end. You have to wait. Now, I was a food judge one year. This is years ago. I was
Uh-huh.
a food judge. And he's like, how many do you want? I want to say it's like Clams Casino, but he bakes them up for you. They're really good, Ed.
I don't like Clams Casino.
And these you might like. They weren't heavy from what I remember.
Oh, okay.
And but like when we got them, they were scalding.
Oh,
And
gosh.
because he just like had
Oh,
finished them,
yeah,
you
yeah.
know, and then we were trying to do our food judging, but he isn't cooking them until you actually want them, you know.
Lori
I guess it's good
Sturgis.
with clams.
I need to find the bakery vendor who only works festival and makes the best almond-filled pastries. I know exactly who you're talking about. They were just at Canal Fest. It is, we were there actually because they had, you know how I like those passachotis?
Yeah.
They actually had those almond horns and they are delicious.
Okay, so also, Lori, can I just tell you, there's a bakery in West Seneca. Somebody tell me the name of it because I can't think of it right now. But they do the almond rings and they are fantastic.
Russell would know what this bakery is called.
It's
'cause
it's a bakery out in West Seneca. Is it a lady's name? I can't. Eileen's. Melly
oh
got
my
it.
God. Russ raves about Eileen's.
Thank you. Have you had their almond ring?
No.
Thank you, Melly.
Butter blocks
fun-
croissants are really good.
Funny enough, when we're making our pierogi,
Yeah.
like Molly, my friend Molly does it with us every year. Her dad appears every year with the almond ring from Eileen's because he takes pierogi away at the end of it. So that's his contribution.
I know what this stand is called. I can, Lauren, I'm right there with you. I can picture it, but I can't see it. But it's got like these, oh gosh, what they are literally at every single festival, and they have the best Italian pastries.
Okay, so they're going to be there this week.
I'm sure.
I'll take a picture and we can share it Monday. But
Okay.
I'll ask them where they'll be next if I see them.
God, what is it? It's like this little square box, and they always have like eclairs, and they've got the almond rings.
You know,
They've
they
got
always have pastry hearts there too.
pastry hearts. Yes,
You know how I feel about those.
I know.
They're so good. I introduced my friend's kids to those at the Erie County Fair years ago.
God, what is this place called? It doesn't. You will when you see it, you will know exactly what I'm talking about. And they are phenomenal. Do you know what I'm kind of over? I got to be honest with you. Maybe it is Gino's.
I don't know.
I'm kind of over the cheesecake on a stick.
I don't think I was ever
Into it.
on the cheesecake on a stick.
I'm also kind of over.
I like a cheesecake, but I'll just take it regular.
Well, I'm over the strawberries on a stick, also with the chocolate drizzled on it for $10. I'm over it.
Strawberries on a stick. Well, you pick the worst things to eat.
Well,
Why would you ever pick a strawberry? on a
Because
stick?
like cheesecake on a stick, I love cheesecake, and I was like, oh, it's like chocolate dip cheesecake, like that is super Italian, right? But
So I would like that, but if you put it on a stick, that means I've like got to finish it, and that's not going to happen.
No, it was
So
just too much.
I want it in a little box.
How about key lime pie in a stick, frozen? No, over it. Sorry, Connie. I just got to be honest with you, like.
Sorry, Connie. Nope, over it.
I love cheesecake. I genuinely do.
Oh my God. How about what Leah made yesterday?
Oh my God, listen to this. So Leah Lando, our beautiful model movie star anchor, legitimately movie star. She makes this lemon olive oil cake, and it was to die for.
So let me just say, I've never seen a presentation like that in the newsroom. And here's what I'll tell you. Typically people are like, here's some donuts I got yesterday. And they're like, throw them in a thing. And like everybody eats them. It doesn't stop them from eating them. But she comes in with this cake on a freaking cake display tray with the glass over it. It's drizzled and it's icing.
And it
It's
was
like-
so good.
I'm like, are you kidding? There's forks, there's knives, there's
It was very
plates.
mom of her.
It was adorable. It was like she was doing it for a baby shower. It was so cute. Like perfectly like set right there.
Well, and then she sends out this super nice email. Let me read it to you, because it was heartwarming when I read it. And I just wanted to go give her a big hug. She goes, hi, everyone. I made an olive oil lemon cake for you all because I truly appreciate you every day. I have so many examples of people complimenting our team, and I heard one this week. And I'm so grateful to work with all of you and see how much you put into all your stories every day. I learn and grow as a journalist from watching you all. For those who don't like lemon cake, I'll be baking other cakes soon.
Love.
You're all the best, Leah.
Also, she's so healthy. She probably didn't even taste it herself. So don't worry. I told her it was good.
I know. Every time there's like a donut or something in the newsroom or a cookie, I'm like, don't tell Leah. I'm
She
eating
will
this."
be like, don't eat it. She's very healthy.
Okay, yeah, I will have to get that recipe from her because this was
It was
phenomenal.
moist. And that's what you want from like a cake like that.
Have you ever had just an olive oil cake?
Mhm.
That is one of my favorite things in the entire world. Do you know who makes a great olive oil cake? DeTundo's downtown.
I think I've had it.
We were there. You had it while we were there together
Yeah.
at separate tables.
Yeah.
It's delicious. Oh, Russ. Okay. Russell, you're on second cup. Do you remember the name of the Italian pastry vendor who we got those pastries from at Canal Fest?
Yeah, Angelo.
Angelo's. Of course it is.
Thanks, Russ.
Thanks, Russell. We were talking about how good they are, and they're at every single food fest.
Will they be at the Italian festival, you think?
I normally see them there. I hope they're there.
Okay.
Hey, Angelo.
It sounds
Buy
like they
three,
should be there.
Buy 5, get 1 free.
Yeah,
Is that really the deal?
it was at Canal Fest.
Oh, okay.
It's so funny. Thank you, Russell.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Also, I was going to kill Russ this morning. Before we go, he forgot his phone this morning, and I thought he was dead. I get yourself a husband who remembers his phone in his wallet.
Please. I could call Paul 15 times, and he'll call me 2 hours later and be like, hey,
Thank
what's
you.
going on?
I literally was calling him for 2 hours. I'm
Ed.
like, where are you? What's going on? I am panicking. I was about to send out the search and rescue team.
You got to let that go. He left his phone out. It's okay. No big deal. Paul could literally have his phone with me. He probably is like, nah, I can't deal with that right now.
Have a great weekend.